Graph Inc. is your printing solution nationwide and the only place I do my printing business. Hello everyone, it's me, Joey Dean. When I need business cards, flyers, banners, or even just graphic design, I call on my friends at Graph Inc. They can print you pretty much anything and have it arrive at your door in short order. Scale tickets, carbon sheets, or whatever you need printed. The professionals at Graph Inc. will make sure that you're putting your best foot forward. They're a 24/7 printer too, so don't worry if it's 7 p.m. on a Friday. They will still make sure you're taken care of. Find them online at gigc.us. The only place I trust for my printing needs is Graph Inc. You may not know this yet, but your weekend breakfast spot is about to be the same place you take the family out of an evening. That's right, we're talking about Golden Corral. The same buffet that serves steak, meatloaf, mashed potatoes, and everything else you love transforms on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday mornings from 8 to 11 to the best breakfast buffet around. Omelet station, hash browns, breakfast casserole, waffles, cinnamon rolls, biscuits, and gravy. Oh man, I'm getting hungry just thinking about it. Of course you can visit Golden Corral all week long, and you should. But if you really want to get your day going, you want to stop in for breakfast at Golden Corral Friday, Saturday, and Sunday morning, or go to goldencorral.com and order GC on the go anytime. Golden Corral, 1727 East Kansas Plaza in Garden City. Increasing the lifespan of your well should be one of your top priorities. Calling Hydro Resources is the easy solution to do just that. Since the 1940s as Hinkle Drilling and 1999 as Hydro Resources, they have been providing groundwater service and solutions to ag producers, municipalities, and more. Whether it's well drilling and construction, pumping system design and installation, controls, pump services and maintenance, or well services and rehabilitation, Hydro Resources is the answer. Find out more information at hydroresources.com. With locations in Kansas, Colorado, New Mexico, and Texas, they have a wide service area. So let them help you with your groundwater needs today.
Hello everyone, it's me Harrison, and I want to tell you about Spike's Cafe. Have you tried them out yet? If not, then you are missing out. Not only do they have fantastic breakfast and awesome lunch specials, but they also cater and have a food truck. So there is no excuses for not eating Spike's Cafe. They are open Tuesday through Saturday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. And on Ingles Home Football Friday, they stay open until 6. So go visit them today on Main Street or visit them on Facebook. Spike's Cafe, only in Ingles, Kansas.
At Bank 7, they believe that if you help build a stronger community, you build a stronger bank. They're committed to acting with the highest level of integrity in everything they do and in every relationship with their customers. Whether you want a one-on-one relationship with your banker or 24/7 mobile banking access, Bank 7 in Montezuma or Copeland is there for you. For more info, visit bank7.com. Bank 7, their best investment is you. Member FDIC. Bank 7 is a proud supporter of the South Gray Rebels. Make the best decision you could make for a fun weekend and visit Poor Decisions in Elkhart, Kansas. Open Thursdays from 7 p.m. to midnight and Friday and Saturdays from 7 p.m. to 2 a.m. Poor Decisions is there to help you unwind after a hard week or escape the kids and in-laws. They host monthly karaoke, live music, special parties, and more. Plus, they have a comfortable outdoor patio where you can take in the evening games. With cold drinks and bar appetizers, Poor Decisions has you covered. Visit them at 820 Border Avenue in Elkhart. The best weekend decision is Poor Decisions. If you need a place to cash your paycheck or are looking for a little extra cash, stop by AAA Pawn and Armory. AAA Pawn and Armory has a wide selection of slightly used items such as TVs, guitars, golf clubs, tools, jewelry, and more. They also have a large inventory of rifles, shotguns, and handguns, as well as ammo in stock. So whether you are looking for your next firearm, TV, or other item, or you just need to cash a check or pawn something for a little extra money, don't go anywhere but AAA Pawn and Armory, 132 West Kansas Avenue in Garden City. What is up, Benchwarmers? It is Ridin right here on Tri-River Radio. Joey Dean hanging out with you is brought to you by AAA Pawn and Armory, 132 West Kansas in Garden City. Go check them out. Check cashing, firearms, tools, all the ammunition you could think of for your firearms, cleaning supplies for your guns, all right there. One-stop shopping at AAA Pawn and Armory, 132 West Kansas in Garden City. Glad to be with you this week. This is going to be kind of a cool week for me. I'm repping my Ingles Bulldogs shirt, as I think I was wearing that last week too. It's kind of become a Friday thing. H wears an Ingles Bulldogs shirt on Fridays because it's Football Friday, and he goes to Ingles. So, excuse me, I think I wore that last week too, though. Either way, the point is, we're here in Ingles tonight for the Spikes Cafe Game of the Week. It is Ingles hosting Teskett. It was going to be Ingles hosting Rolla, and I was not going to wear this shirt because Rolla's in the area, and that's the school that we cover, the Rolla area we cover. But Teskett is not in the area. So what happened was Rolla didn't have enough kids, it seems, and so did Chase, Teskett's opponent. They just didn't have enough to field a six-man team, as these are some small schools we're talking about, and we'll look at some of the numbers for these small schools as well here in the show. And in fact, here in this first segment, I was just looking that up as we shared it on our Facebook page earlier. But not very many kids for some of these schools, and excuse me, and that makes a big difference in things. So Chase and Rolla couldn't field teams. That left Teskett and Ingles looking for somebody to play. And it just so happens that K-Preps ranks these the number 3 and number 4 teams in 6-man. And they will both already be 4-0 here in week 4 as we go into this game tonight. This is going to be insane. This is going to be crazy. To give you an idea of the size of these schools that we're dealing with here, Ingles is the biggest when you look at the football numbers that just came out from Keisha, came out this week. Football is grades 9 through 11. And so they look at the enrollment for grades 9 through 11 for football. Ingles is the biggest 6-player school with 54 students in 9 through 11. Think about that. I had 17 in my graduating class at Ashland. That's a big chunk of that 54 there. That's like what? 2, 3, a third? Almost a third? That's crazy. So Ingles is at 54 for this next cycle, the 26-27 cycle. Looking down here, Chase is 28. Rolla is 23. Teskett is 40. So Ingles and Teskett are bigger in the 9 through 11 enrollment, but not that much. You know, you got 12 more kids than Chase if you're Teskett. Rolla, 23 students. So that gives you an idea. That's 9 through 11. Now, with the other sports, it goes 9 through 12. And so you add those in, and that's for this year's classifications. All these are 1A schools, by the way, that we're talking about here. But Rolla checks in with 30 kids enrolled this year. Chase checks in at 34. Teskett at 49. So they have 9 seniors. A senior class of 9 at Teskett, by the way. And then Ingles checks in at, let's see here, 70. So they got a big graduating class. That would be 16 kids. It's a good-sized graduating class for a small school. But you're not dealing with a lot of kids here. And so I've heard some people complaining about, well, if they couldn't field a team 4 weeks in, blah, blah, blah. Kids get injured. Kids get sick. And you're talking about taking away an opportunity for a student athlete. You're talking about not letting them, just because of numbers, not letting them play a sport, which is insane to me. And yeah, a lot of places can consolidate. Rolla's not that far from Elkhart, so it could consolidate. Chase is not that far from Little River, or actually it is farther from Little River, but it's not far from Lyons. It's right outside Lyons. It's in between Lyons and Ellenwood. And by the way, I drove through Chase a couple of weeks ago. This is a cool story, or a funny story. So my wife, I complain about things on the road all the time. She can attest to this. All the time I complain. And we just happened to be driving through Chase, or driving by Chase, because you don't actually drive through Chase unless you want to. And we were driving by Chase on the highway there, and I had to slow down because you have to slow down for Chase. And I started complaining. I was complaining hard. It's like, why? This is stupid. There's not even a gas station on the highway anymore. Like, there's no reason, and I still stand by this. There's no reason to slow down for Chase. There's a number of little towns that you have to slow down for. There is no reason that you have to slow down for. Zero reason. You don't slow down for Ingalls when you blow by it. And you shouldn't, because there's nothing on the highway to slow down for. There's a truck stop and a church. That's it. And there's turning lanes, so you're good. And if that's the reason, put some damn turning lanes in, K-Dot. I don't want to slow down for Chase anymore. It's dumb. And there's a number of other places that I'm just like, why? They're not hubs of anything anymore. They're just towns that are off the highway. They're not even on the highway anymore. But anyway, I digress a little bit. So Jen was like, why? I've never even been in Chase. What's in Chase? And I was like, you want the tour of Chase, Kansas? Do you want the tour, Jen? I will give you the tour. So I pulled off, and we went down Main Street, the 2 blocks of Main Street. The cemetery has an oil well right there. It's a unique town. It is a cool little town, but there's no reason to slow down for it. And we got through Chase, and I was like, there you go. Was that life-changing, Jen? Did you feel you needed to slow down for Chase, Kansas? And she agreed with me. No, you don't need to slow down for Chase, Kansas. It is ridiculous. But it is a small town. You don't slow down. Like I said, you don't slow down for Ingalls. And I stand by it. You don't need to. There's no need to slow down for Ingalls. Just like there's no need to slow down for Chase. You shouldn't have to. You know, Rolla actually has the main street is the highway. Moscow, the main street is the highway. Slow down for those. I get that. Chase is off the highway. Ingalls is off the highway. There's no need to slow down. But that tells you how small these towns are, though, when you look at the enrollment. These are small schools we're dealing with. And so, it just so happens that 2 of the best teams in 6-man that were not scheduled to play each other this year, not in the regular season anyway, those 2 teams will face each other tonight. And Tescot's, they've run roughshod over their competition this year. 39-8 over Peabody Burns at home. At Southern Coffee County, they won 54-0. At Northern Valley, they won 53-8. And now they go to Ingalls after the forfeit that would have been at Chase. And it worked out great because Ingalls' homecoming is tonight. And so they lucked out that the team that replaces Rolla was also planning to be on the road anyway, as there was supposed to be a game at Chase. So it works out. And you instead have 2 teams that were planning on, let's be honest here, Rolla's 1-1, but they're not that good. Ingalls is head and shoulders better. You know, this was going to be an over at halftime game. Tescott at Chase. Chase is 0-3. It was going to be an over at halftime game. Now we might have ourselves a great ball game. This might be a playoff preview, maybe even a 6-man championship preview. I mean, this is going to be, it's going to be a thing. So this is going to be fun. Ingalls on the season 3-0. They beat Tri-Plains Brewster 48-0 at Tri-Plains Brewster. They were at home against Golden Plains, won 52-0. And then they were at Cheylin and won 47-12. Cheylin is perennial power in 6-man. So this is going to be fun. I'm excited about this ball game as Ingalls, they can really show everybody else that, hey, we're for real out here on the west side of things. Because, you know, 6-man is divided just like the rest of high school football in the state of Kansas. It's divided east and west, and Tesket is on the eastern side of things for six-man, and they've been good since coming into six-man. So we'll see how things go tonight. That game, 5:45. We will have our pregame show because it's a 6 o'clock kick tonight instead of 7 o'clock. So we will be an hour earlier than what we normally are with your Bank 7 Montezuma pregame show. And we will have the call from Ingles between number 3 and number 4 in six-man, Tesket and Ingles. So this is going to be, I'm excited about this. This is probably the most excited I've been for a high school game this year since week 1. When I was excited just because, we were doing high school football, and after a year hiatus, I was back to doing high school football, and so I was excited about that. This is probably the most pumped I've been. And the fact that I can walk, and I do plan on, by the way, those of you who give me a hard time for being fat all the time, I've been losing weight, and I plan on walking to the stadium today. It's 2 blocks to the stadium. It's 1 block to the school. It's 2 blocks to the stadium, uphill. Just one way. It'll be downhill on the way back, but uphill. And I'm trying to get all my gear set up to where I can carry it and walk to the stadium instead of having to drive. And the gear is going to be the key, because if I can haul the gear all the way up there and back without, any issues of it breaking or being damaged at all, then yeah, I'll walk. If I can't pack it away the way I want to, then I'll have to drive. But I'm trying to be athletic again. That's what constitutes as athletic at 39 years old, by the way, walking 2 blocks to the football stadium. But yeah, you can hear that game right here on Dry River Radio. Of course, you can watch it. Go to our webpage, dryriverservices.com. It'll be on our YouTube channel. It'll be on our webpage. We'll share the link on Facebook as well. That way you have all these options. You can watch it. What's cool is you can watch it on your TV. If you have like one of those streaming TVs, the YouTube app, not YouTube TV, the YouTube app, YouTube itself. You can open that up and find the game and watch it live on your TV. That's how cool that is. And I added some new graphics. We used the new camera last week. I think I figured out the settings to it so where everything's a little bit less choppy, a little bit more smooth, and hopefully we'll get a good look at the scoreboard for the time on the clock, and have an actual scoreboard going this week. It'd be nice. I'm gonna get there early. I'm gonna set some stuff up, test some stuff. That's the luxury of doing it from Ingles tonight, because normally I have to drive to wherever, and this time I don't. So I'm very happy about that, and especially since I play a show tomorrow in Dodge City. I don't have to go anywhere really this weekend. This is awesome. This is the best weekend ever. I'm going to sit at home on Sunday. I'm going to mow my lawn in the morning, and then I'm going to sit there and watch NFL football and just enjoy a Sunday at home. I haven't had one of those in a while. I'm usually traveling on Sundays, so excited about all of this ahead of us here over the next few days this weekend. This is going to be fun, and this game tonight is going to be fun as well. Looking at some stuff I will touch on before we get way into other things in this show today. In regards to the NFL, Jackson Dart going to get the start for the Giants instead of Russell Wilson. I'm not optimistic about this. I said last week, I think it was last week or the week before, I talked about the Patrick Mahomes spending a year behind Alex Smith and learning how to be a pro. And that's something Russell Wilson didn't really get to do in Seattle. He kind of got thrown into the fire in Seattle because he didn't really have anybody ahead of him like an Alex Smith. Russell Wilson is like an Alex Smith. Yeah, the Giants have started 0-3. The Giants have more problems, though, than just the quarterback position. And I don't think Jackson Dart's going to be the answer. And I don't think that long term this is going to be beneficial for him. I think this is going to hinder his progression a little bit. You know, Russell Wilson was, close to winning a game against the Cowboys. He didn't look great against the Chiefs, but the Chiefs' defense has found itself after looking like hot garbage in week 1. They've played really well 2 weeks in a row. And the Chiefs finally get a win, and now everybody, these teams are 1-2, the Chiefs and the Ravens, blah, 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 blah. They're both going to be in the playoffs. It's freaking September. It's a long season. They'll be fine. I'm not worried about either of those teams. The Giants are not going to be in the playoffs. And whatever hopes they had to be in the playoffs, there's a lot more problems than just the quarterback position. A lot more problems. And so throwing Jackson Dart into this starting role, I'm not optimistic at all. In fact, I think it could be a problem for him. And we've seen quarterbacks in systems get thrown into the fire, struggle, and go elsewhere and do well. Prime example, Daniel Jones. The Giants relied on Daniel Jones to be that guy. And yeah, he spent some time behind Eli Manning and learned how to be a pro. But maybe that's an indication of how dysfunctional things are in New York with the Giants. How the Giants aren't one of those franchises that can do this. Because Daniel Jones went to Indianapolis, and I was totally against it. I will admit that I might be wrong. Because Daniel Jones has looked great in his 3 starts with Indianapolis. In fact, he's got the Colts plus 47 in point differential, which is the best in the NFL. They have looked more like a dominant team than any other team in the NFL this season. 2 of their 3 wins have been big time. They have looked really, really, really good. And the defenses look decent too. But the offense is ridiculous. And yeah, it's going to be hard to sustain that for an entire season. And maybe the Daniel Jones that, we all have come to know and love, tripping over the 15-yard line. Nothing but grass in front of him. Just eating it. Maybe that Daniel Jones will show back up here in the next couple of weeks. As a Colts fan, I fully believe that that's going to happen. Because that's the way that goes. You can't get too excited here. We're 3 weeks in. But the way he's looked versus how he looked in New York with the Giants, 2 completely different quarterbacks. And so that's my fear now with Jackson Dart. And it's my fear with many young quarterbacks that get thrown into the fire in their rookie year. I'm against rookies playing. It's worked out in some cases, yeah. In some cases, guys have struggled and they've overcome it. But for the most part, it doesn't work out. Not well, anyway. Or it takes a lot longer for guys to develop. And I've said over and over, when people were clamoring to have Patrick Mahomes instead of Alex Smith starting that first year, first off, the Chiefs were winning. They were winning games. They were winning the division. They were going to the playoffs. And people were still, I want to see Patrick Mahomes. You waste a first-round pick. Just because a guy's drafted in the first round doesn't mean he needs to start right away. That is the facts. That is 100% true. Just because he's a first-round pick doesn't mean he needs to start right away. And Patrick Mahomes even said, hey, you know what? That year was invaluable. That was a huge year for me because I learned so much. And he got the opportunity to learn instead of having to worry about a game plan every single week while learning how to be a pro. He got the opportunity to learn behind one of the, most consummate pros in NFL history when it comes to quarterbacks. Alex Smith was a pro. That dude, selfless. Oh man. I wish over and over that there was 1,000 Alex Smiths out there. Because that guy, man, he helped groom one of the greatest quarterbacks in NFL history. Or at least that's the trajectory of Patrick Mahomes right now. So everybody, he's a first-round pick, he has to start. No, he doesn't. He doesn't. Especially if you have somebody who can start, who has started, who's won a freaking Super Bowl, which Russell Wilson has. He's been to 2. He's won 1. He's been to 2, won 1. Because they beat the Broncos and then they lost to the Patriots. But Russell Wilson's been good in his career. And he can teach. This is what it's like. And he knows what it's like to be a rookie. And so now Jackson Dart getting thrown in there. And we'll see how he does. But I'm not optimistic at all. If you're a Giants fan, I'm sorry. I'm not. Other NFL news. Like I said, the Chiefs got their win, finally. The tush push is still going. The Eagles are still jumping off sides. I ranted about that last week. And it's going to keep happening because the NFL doesn't care. I saw some Eagles fans complaining on a chat thread the other day. Oh man, everybody's picking on us, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, are you serious? Everybody hates us. Are you freaking kidding me? Have you not paid attention to the Chiefs and how they've been treated the last 5? People have picked other teams to win the AFC West. They have picked other teams to win the AFC West in the last 4 years. Last 5 years. Why? Why would you do that? At no point would I even think, until the king is knocked off, I'm not picking anybody but the Chiefs to win the AFC West. Even now, I think they're going to win it. They're 1-2. That was the biggest problem for these teams ahead of them. They needed the Chiefs to go 0-3. They needed them to lose last week to the Giants. And it didn't happen. The Chiefs are 1-2. They're right there in the race for the division. They're right there. They're not that far back. It's going to happen. The Chiefs are going to win the AFC West again. It is September 26th, and I'm telling you, the 1-2 Chiefs are going to win the AFC West. Why would you choose anybody else? But Eagles fans were complaining, oh, no, you're picked to win your division. You're talked about as the best team in the NFC, which I don't really know who you'd put up against them. I was looking at some of the numbers in the NFC. There's not really anybody. The Niners have squeaked by in their wins. The Bucks have done it 3 weeks in a row, which is just ridiculous. And by the way, talking about a guy who was thrown in the fire his rookie year, Baker Mayfield changes scenery, and he looks good. He's having to engineer comebacks. That's his thing, man. That's Baker, baby. And he's looked good for the Bucks. He's got him at 3-0. You know, the Niners at 3-0, I still don't understand how that's happened. But the NFC's not that scary to me. The Eagles are probably the best team in the NFC. And they're getting picked on the tush push because they're jumping off sides. Because they're breaking their rules. And Eagles fans have eaten too many cheesesteaks. They can't freaking wrap their brains around that. It's all clogged with spray cheese and green peppers or something. Their brains just don't work right in Philly, I guess. Maybe it's your team bias. There's plenty of times that I'm like, yeah, the Chiefs got away with that one. Or yeah, the Colts got away with that one. Plenty of times. Philly can't do that. Philly fans can't do that. They just can't. They hate their team when their team loses, and they love their team unconditionally when they win. And there is no in between with Philly fans. They're crazy out there in Philly. They are crazy. Love to hear your thoughts. Shoot me a text, 620-222-0898 is the number. Give me a holler and let me know what you think about all this. But 222-0898, 620-222-0898. We'll take a break, come back, talk about some college football. We'll also talk about Royals baseball as they finish up their season here this weekend. It's all coming up right here on Ridin the Pine. It's presented by AAA Pond and Armory right here on Dry River Radio. Graph Inc. is your printing solution nationwide and the only place I do my printing business. Hello everyone, it's me, Joey Dean. When I need business cards, flyers, banners, or even just graphic design, I call on my friends at Graph Inc. They can print you pretty much anything and have it arrive at your door in short order. Scale tickets, carbon sheets, or whatever you need printed. The professionals at Graph Inc. will make sure that you're putting your best foot forward. They're a 24/7 printer too, so don't worry if it's 7 p.m. on a Friday. They will still make sure you're taken care of. Find them online at gigc.us. The only place I trust for my printing needs is Graph Inc. You may not know this yet, but your weekend breakfast spot is about to be the same place you take the family out of an evening. That's right, we're talking about Golden Corral. The same buffet that serves steak, meatloaf, mashed potatoes, and everything else you love transforms on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday mornings from 8 to 11 to the best breakfast buffet around. Omelet station, hash browns, breakfast casserole, waffles, cinnamon rolls, biscuits, and gravy. Oh man, I'm getting hungry just thinking about it. Of course you can visit Golden Corral all week long, and you should. But if you really want to get your day going, you want to stop in for breakfast at Golden Corral Friday, Saturday, and Sunday morning, or go to goldencorral.com and order GC on the go anytime. Golden Corral, 1727 East Kansas Plaza in Garden City. Increasing the lifespan of your well should be one of your top priorities. Calling Hydro Resources is the easy solution to do just that. Since the 1940s as Hinkle Drilling and 1999 as Hydro Resources, they have been providing groundwater service and solutions to ag producers, municipalities, and more. Whether it's well drilling and construction, pumping system design and installation, controls, pump services and maintenance, or well services and rehabilitation, Hydro Resources is the answer. Find out more information at hydroresources.com. With locations in Kansas, Colorado, New Mexico, and Texas, they have a wide service area, so let them help you with your groundwater needs today.
Hello everyone, it's me Harrison, and I want to tell you about Spike's Cafe. Have you tried them out yet? If not, then you are missing out. Not only do they have fantastic breakfast and awesome lunch specials, but they also cater and have a food truck. So there is no excuses for not eating Spike's Cafe. They are open Tuesday through Saturday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. And on Ingles Home Football Friday, they stay open until 6. So go visit them today on Main Street or visit them on Facebook. Spike's Cafe, only in Ingles, Kansas.
At Bank 7, they believe that if you help build a stronger community, you build a stronger bank. They're committed to acting with the highest level of integrity in everything they do and in every relationship with their customers. Whether you want a one-on-one relationship with your banker or 24/7 mobile banking access, Bank 7 in Montezuma or Copeland is there for you. For more info, visit bank7.com. Bank 7, their best investment is you. Member FDIC. Bank 7 is a proud supporter of the South Gray Rebels. Make the best decision you could make for a fun weekend and visit Poor Decisions in Elkhart, Kansas. Open Thursdays from 7 p.m. to midnight and Friday and Saturdays from 7 p.m. to 2 a.m. Poor Decisions is there to help you unwind after a hard week or escape the kids and in-laws. They host monthly karaoke, live music, special parties, and more. Plus, they have a comfortable outdoor patio where you can take in the evening games. With cold drinks and bar appetizers, Poor Decisions has you covered. Visit them at 820 Border Avenue in Elkhart. The best weekend decision is Poor Decisions. If you need a place to cash your paycheck or are looking for a little extra cash, stop by AAA Pawn and Armory. AAA Pawn and Armory has a wide selection of slightly used items such as TVs, guitars, golf clubs, tools, jewelry, and more. They also have a large inventory of rifles, shotguns, and handguns, as well as ammo in stock. So whether you are looking for your next firearm, TV, or other item, or you just need to cash a check or pawn something for a little extra money, don't go anywhere but AAA Pawn and Armory, 132 West Kansas Avenue in Garden City. Welcome back, Benchwarmers. It is Riding the Pine here on a Friday. Happy Friday to you. Joey Dean hanging out with you as we get through this hour and prepare for tonight's high school football action. Ingalls hosting Tuscan. It is homecoming night for the Ingalls Bulldogs. They got their parade and dance tomorrow. I was in Spike's Cafe earlier. Apparently they're going to throw out some shirts in the parade tomorrow. So I got to find out some info on that because I don't know what time the parade is or anything. Apparently they've got a lot going on in Ingalls tomorrow. I'll be in Dodge tomorrow night, but if the parade's like in the morning or something, yeah. Let's do that. I can go get me a Spike's Cafe t-shirt. That'd be fantastic. I would enjoy that a lot. But Ingalls hosting Tuscan tonight. 5:45 start time for our Bank 7 Montezuma pregame show. So we talked NFL and high school football that first segment. Here we're going to talk a little bit about the Royals as we finish up the Royals season. They are now officially eliminated from the playoffs, both division and the wild card. They've got game tonight against the A's. It's the first of 3, if I remember right. First of 3 to finish out the year. So today, tomorrow, Sunday, and that'll finish out the season for the Royals, who have not played well down the stretch. They were right there. Excuse me. Back in mid-August, they were right there. One game out of a wild card spot. And fell apart. Absolutely fell apart. And a lot of it had to do with the same thing that plagued them earlier in the year when they had a slump. The hitting. Just couldn't do it. Now, there are guys that have turned it on. Salvador Perez and Vinny Pasquantino, both over 30 home runs, 100 RBI. First time in Royals history that's ever happened. That's telling right there. First time. The Royals were the only team that didn't have a 30-30 teammates with 100 RBI. Only one. They finally are in that category, but good Lord. But yeah, the Royals, they could be the Indians, who suddenly are in control of the division because Detroit collapsed finally. I kept saying it all year. I don't really fully believe Detroit's built for the long run. You know, they built this incredible 9-game lead or whatever it was. It was something crazy like that. Might have been even more than that, actually, at one point. Might have been like 12 and 14 games over the Royals and Indians. It was a big lead. And then they just fell apart. Just bloop. They're 2-8 their last 10. And suddenly the Indians have caught them. The Indians got hot right at the right time and caught them. That could have been the Royals if they could hit. That's the problem for the Royals. They have not been able to figure it out offensively at all. You know, and right now, Detroit's in danger of losing a playoff spot. They're just a game up on the Astros in the wild card, who are the final team to be eliminated. Once the Astros are eliminated over the next couple of days, or if they're not. That's the only team in play still in the AL. In the NL, they still have a couple of teams. You know, Arizona's just 2 games out. Cincinnati's 1 game. But in the AL, it's pretty decided. And the Royals are right there as the Tied with the Rangers at 80 and 79, 6 games back, as the next in line behind the Astros. Good for you. You should have been in that position, though. There's no reason that they should have gone on the streak that they went on for a couple of weeks there, where they just couldn't seem to win a game. There was a 2-week stretch where they'd win one and then they'd lose 3 in a row. They'd win 2 and lose 3 in a row. Win 1, lose 3 in a row again. That was killer. There was a 10-game stretch where they went 3 and 7. That's not going to get it done. You can't do that in August and into September. It is a bad time to do that. You can get away with that in April, May. You can recover from that then. You can't recover from that in August and September. And the Royals have proven that. They'll have Noah Cameron going tonight, Michael Wacha tomorrow, Cole Reagans on Sunday to finish out the season. But it's really disappointing because there was a lot of high hopes, as there have been the last couple years, for the Royals. And there's a lot of people, even on MLB.TV and MLB.com. And I listen to MLB radio on Sirius Satellite Radio all preseason because I start jonesing for baseball at some point in March and February and March when spring training starts. I got to get my fix, man. And so I listened to it all preseason long, and there was a lot of people picking the Royals to win the division. I was one of them who I thought, yeah, this team went to the playoffs last year. It makes sense. They're going to put it together. They're going to be the team. And unfortunately, that's not the case. Unfortunately, they fell short. And it's what Royals fans have come to expect, which is disappointing. Last year, them making the playoffs was a surprise. Then sweeping the Orioles was a surprise. And going toe-to-toe with the Yankees. And you thought, man, had Vinny been healthy down this stretch, had this happened, had that happened. Nope. Fell apart again. They're going to finish maybe 500. They're playing the A's. So there's a decent chance that they win the series. But they're going to have to win the series because otherwise they're not going to finish above 500. The A's are 6-4 in their last 10. You should beat them, though. 75 and 84 on the year. They've played a lot better of late. They started out this season playing really well, and then they just disappeared for the middle part of the year. But you should beat them if you're the Royals. At least 2 out of 3 and end up with 82 wins. Finish at least 82 and 80 at minimum. Which is It's a winning season. But you got to win 2 out of 3 in the last series of the season to guarantee a winning season. That's not a good recipe for a franchise that, feels like they should be farther along than what they are. They had to rebuild after tearing it all apart in 2016. They've had to rebuild, and they've done so, and they've got, promising young guys. Carter Jensen's going to be good. Vinny's mashing the ball. Caglione is going to be good. There's guys that are going to replace guys like Salvador Perez. Bobby Witt Jr. is an MVP. MVP caliber anyway. And your pitching staff's pretty solid too. You've got young guys, a young core, again. Like you did with Butler and Gordon. And Gordon was a little more seasoned vet, but you had Butler and Gordon and Moustakas, Hosmer, those guys. You got your core again. A new, young core. The key will be figuring out how to hang on to them, develop them further, which I think Vinny's there. 32 home runs right now, over 100 RBI. Yeah, I'll take that from my first baseman. Because the Royals really haven't had that over the years. It took forever to knock out Steve Balboni's home run record. Mike Moustakas finally did that. And then Jorge Soler blew that out of the water eventually. But it took forever. Balboni had that since 84? And it took till 2015, 2014, something like that. Yeah. Eesh. This has not been a team that offensively has been good historically. They've relied on pitching. And they have some pieces now, some young guys that can hit the ball. They just got to figure it out the rest of the way. They have to finish developing. Finishing developing guys. That is the key for the Royals. They're really good at getting guys up there and having nice little stints at the beginning. But you got to finish developing guys. And that's something that the Royals have struggled with. We'll see how they finish out this season against the A's. It'd be great to have a sweep of the A's, but, who knows? It's at Sacramento, so, yeah. It's just disappointing. I had high hopes for the Royals. The Cubs are in the playoffs, so I'm happy, but would have liked to see both teams in, the Royals and the Cubs in the playoffs. So that would have been nice. I'm tired of Cleveland. I'm just so sick of Cleveland. I have a bunch of friends that are Guardians, Indians fans, and they're very happy right now. I'm sick of it. I want them to be unhappy. Should have been the Royals in that position. They did not need to go 3-7 in that 10-game span and just fall all apart. And that's what they did. That's the way the cookie crumbled. Love to hear your thoughts. 620-222-0898 is the number. Shoot me a text. Let me know what you think of the Royals season this year. Were you happy with it? Or was it what you expected? Just let me know. Shoot me a message. We'll take a break, come back, finish up talking about college football this week. Some really good games on the slate. And K-State will be back in action as well. Mike Gundy got fired. A little bit to talk about there, and I'll make my picks for the week. This is Ridin the Pine right here on Dry River Radio, presented by AAA Pawn and Armory.
If you need a place to cash your paycheck or are looking for a little extra cash, stop by AAA Pawn and Armory. AAA Pawn and Armory has a wide selection of slightly used items such as TVs, guitars, golf clubs, tools, jewelry, and more. They also have a large inventory of rifles, shotguns, and handguns, as well as ammo in stock. So whether you are looking for your next firearm, TV, or other item, or you just need to cash a check or pawn something for a little extra money, don't go anywhere but AAA Pawn and Armory, 132 West Kansas Avenue in Garden City.
At Bank 7, they believe that if you help build a stronger community, you build a stronger bank. They're committed to acting with the highest level of integrity in everything they do and in every relationship with their customers. Whether you want a one-on-one relationship with your banker or 24/7 mobile banking access, Bank 7 in Montezuma or Copeland is there for you. For more info, visit bank7.com. Bank 7, their best investment is you. Member FDIC. Bank 7 is a proud supporter of the South Gray Rebels.
Hello everyone, it's me Harrison, and I want to tell you about Spike's Cafe. Have you tried them out yet? If not, then you are missing out. Not only do they have fantastic breakfast and awesome lunch specials, but they also cater and have a food truck. So there is no excuses for not eating Spike's Cafe. They are open Tuesday through Saturday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. And on Ingles Home Football Friday, they stay open until 6. So go visit them today on Main Street or visit them on Facebook. Spike's Cafe, only in Ingles, Kansas.
Graph Inc. is your printing solution nationwide and the only place I do my printing business. Hello everyone, it's me, Joey Dean. When I need business cards, flyers, banners, or even just graphic design, I call my friends at Graph Inc. They can print you pretty much anything and have it arrive at your door in short order. Scale tickets, carbon sheets, or whatever you need printed. The professionals at Graph Inc. will make sure that you're putting your best foot forward. They're a 24/7 printer too, so don't worry if it's 7 p.m. on a Friday. They will still make sure you're taken care of. Find them online at gigc.us. The only place I trust for my printing needs is Graph Inc. You may not know this yet, but your weekend breakfast spot is about to be the same place you take the family out of an evening. That's right, we're talking about Golden Corral, the same buffet that serves steak, meatloaf, mashed potatoes, and everything else you love. Transforms on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday mornings from 8 to 11 to the best breakfast buffet around. Omelet station, hash browns, breakfast casserole, waffles, cinnamon rolls, biscuits, and gravy. Oh man, I'm getting hungry just thinking about it. Of course you can visit Golden Corral all week long, and you should. But if you really want to get your day going, you want to stop in for breakfast at Golden Corral Friday, Saturday, and Sunday morning. Or go to goldencorral.com and order GC on the go anytime. Golden Corral, 1727 East Kansas Plaza in Garden City. Warmer's final segment of the program. It is Ridin the Vine here on Dry River Radio. It's presented by AAA Pawn and Armory. Cash your paycheck at AAA Pawn and Armory. They'll give you a pawn buck and a 2-liter bottle of soda, and then you can just sit there and shop with your new money that they give you for cashing your paycheck there, or your government-issued check, whatever, insurance check. They will hook you up. They're at AAA Pawn and Armory, 132 West Kansas in Garden City. You can use those pawn bucks. You can save them up. I've got a whole little cup, one of those, like Bud Light cups or whatever. It's full of pawn bucks that I'm going to use on my next purchase. They're at AAA Pawn and Armory. I don't know exactly what that's going to be yet, but it's going to be something cool, I'm sure. I bought my wife a gun from there a couple years ago for Christmas. I have not bought myself one yet, so feel like it's time that I be armed as well as her. Just self-preservation, maybe. But either way, they got all you need: shooting supplies, ammo, firearms, AAA Pawn and Armory. So Mike Gundy was fired earlier this week. That was writing on the wall. Who didn't see that coming? I figured it was going to happen after he lost to Tulsa. How do you do that if you're Oklahoma State? It hadn't happened since, the 30s, the 50s, something like that. It had been forever since Oklahoma State had lost to Tulsa. It was Oklahoma A&M when they lost to Tulsa last. That's how long ago it was. Yeah, not good. Not good at all. The fall of Mike Gundy, who walks away as the winningest coach in program history at Oklahoma State. He found more success at Oklahoma State than any other coach in the history of the program. He had success as a quarterback at Oklahoma State. He was the Cowboys, the face of the Cowboys. I'm a man, I'm 40, he's going to live on forever with that Oklahoma State hat he was wearing, an Oklahoma State polo shirt. He will always be remembered as the coach of the Cowboys, no matter who follows and how much success they have. They're going to have to win a national title to unseat Gundy. Multiple 10-win seasons, 6 New Year's, 6 bowl games, something like that. He was there 20 years. Was this close twice to either being in the playoff or playing for a national championship. People forget Brandon Whedon almost quarterbacked Oklahoma State to a national title. Had they not fallen to Houston. I believe it was Houston. Pretty sure it was Houston. Either way, they fell late in the season. Maybe it was Iowa State. It might have been Iowa State that they fell to. Late in the season. They cost them. I think that was the year Houston was also in the conversation, but wasn't really in the conversation. We ended up with LSU, Alabama. And the 6-3 game that was, or whatever the hell that score was, awful. As ESPN just cozied up with the SEC, like they always do. But Oklahoma State was close to playing for a national championship a couple of different times under Mike Gundy. He had a ton of success there. He just was there too long. Eventually the message fades, and unless you reinvent yourself, which Gundy wasn't going to do. And they quietly said, hey, you can finish out the year if you retire at the end of the year. And we'll let you. No, I'll let you fire me and I'll take a $15 million buyout. Good job, Gundy. That's what I'd have done. Yeah. Fire me. Fire me. I'll take that $15 million. He wants to coach again. I would not. I'd be good. I'm on a boat somewhere. Nah, I'm out, dog. Yeah. Either way, Oklahoma State on the search, and of course, all the names. Nick Saban thrown in there. Saban's not going to Oklahoma State. I'm just going to break it to you, Oklahoma State fans. It's not going to happen. He's not going to Oklahoma State. If he does, I don't know. I'll walk down the strip in a bikini if Nick Saban goes to Oklahoma State. How about that? In the middle of winter, I'll just throw on a bikini and walk down the strip. How about that? It's not going to happen. That's how confident I am. So, either way, lots going on in Stillwater. So, time for our picks this week. Some really good college games this week. K-State back in action as they will take on UCF. Kansas got a big win over West Virginia. My brain stopped working there. Got a big win over West Virginia last week, and it feels like Kansas is legit. They've looked really, really good so far this season. Even against Missouri, they gave up 600 yards against Missouri, but they took Missouri to the wire too. So it's going to be interesting as we get into Big 12 play. But making the picks tonight on Fox, 8 o'clock start time. Number 24 TCU at 3-0, taking on 3-1 Arizona State from Tempe, Arizona. Give me TCU in this one. I like the Frogs. They've looked good. Dismantled SMU. Yeah, give me the Frogs at Arizona State. Tonight at 9:30 on ESPN, 3-0 Houston at 0-4 Oregon State. Yeah, give me Houston. That's a no-brainer on that one. Tomorrow, 11 a.m. on TNT, it is 2-1 Cincinnati at 3-1 Kansas. Give me the Jayhawks. Rock chalk, baby. There is no doubt the Jayhawks will win that one. Also at 11 o'clock on FS1, 3-0 UCF at 1-3 Kansas State. Fresh off a bye will be the Wildcats at home against a really good UCF team. I like UCF in this one in Manhattan. Sorry, Cat fans. 2:30 on ESPN2, Baylor at Oklahoma State. 2-2 Baylor, 1-2 Oklahoma State. Give me Baylor in that one. 2:30 on Fox, 3-1 Utah at 2-2 West Virginia. I actually like West Virginia to pull the upset in Morgantown on this one. I don't know why. I just got this feeling that West Virginia is going to move to 3-2. ESPN at 6 o'clock tomorrow night, 3-0 Arizona at number 14 and 4-0 Iowa State. Whoo, man. This one's a tough one. It's at Ames, Iowa. I'm going to take Iowa State, but I would not be surprised if Arizona knocked them off. And then 9:15 on ESPN, number 25 BYU at 3-0 at 2-2 Colorado. Give me BYU in that one. I will take the Cougars in that one. I'm always about Cougars. In the NFL, the Chiefs will take on, let's see, what have we got here? Chiefs and Ravens. That's right. That's what it is. That is at 3:25 on CBS from Kansas City, Arrowhead Stadium, GEHA Field at Arrowhead. Give me the Chiefs in that one. I think they found something last week. Getting that win out of the way was huge. They're going to play really well. Both these teams are going to end up in the playoffs. I'm just telling you that right now. And then tonight's game, Ingles and Teskett. This was going to be a good one. I'm excited beyond belief about tonight's game. In fact, I'm going to spend the next couple hours preparing for it. You don't want to miss it, so make sure you go to DriveRiverServices.com, watch it tonight, or make sure you have the app on your smart TV, the YouTube app, not the YouTube TV, YouTube itself, just YouTube app. Open that up, search for the game there. You can watch it on your TV, you can watch it on your tablet, whatever. Just make sure you watch this game tonight. It's going to be really good. And if you can't watch, at least listen. Download our app, the Dry River Radio app, and you can listen to the game on there as well. But Teskett at Ingles tonight. Give me them Bulldogs. Let's go. Let's go. That is the show for today. This has been Ridin' the Pine, presented by AAA Pawn and Armory. I'll catch you again next week for Ridin' the Pine. I'll catch you at 5:45 for your Bank 7 Montezuma pregame show. Let's go Eagles tonight in your Spikes Cafe Game of the Week. See you later, everyone.